Hello everyone, I'm Lawrence, and my Chinese name is Chen Zhenzhe. And today I'm going to give you a brief introduction about my future career, which is the translator. Okay, so let's just get started. Okay, so first of all, about my position thought, I'm actually applying for the Chinese English and English Chinese translator. And the reason why I want to apply for this job is because I want to develop my translating skills in different fields. I know the reason, it's a little bit cliche, but I certainly believe that to do the translation, it's a great opportunity for me to be exposed into different knowledge or fields like technology or art or politics or literature. I mean, any kinds of fields that you can think of. So I think certainly it's an optimal approach for me to expand my horizon in translation knowledge, which is my part of my position thought. And the other reason is that to do the translation is quite challenging. Yeah, and the reason is that somehow a translation of text. I mean, it's really hard to define a good translation because certainly usually the quality would be determined by the reader. So I think I have a mission to translate a text which would be widely embraced by the readers. Yeah, to try to live up to their expectations. So that's what I find challenging because there's no do's and don'ts in translation. And about my education, uh, I'm actually studying at Furin Catholic University, and I'm specializing in English literature. And actually, at school, I took some of the related courses that, as you can see here, I actually took the English Chinese translation course from February 2015 to June 2015. And later on, which will be the next semester, I took another courses. I took another course. It's called English Chinese Translation. It's an advanced writing, and at the same time, I took the interpretation course simultaneously. So that's the reason why. And that would have been I think that would have been a moment that I started to realize what my aptitude really is because I found that I'm actually good at translation, but not interpretation. Yeah, because interpretation for me somehow you will have to go through this kind of a neuro-linguistic process in a short period of time, and you have to translate a text immediately and with a well-organized and logical way to let the listener know what you were talking about. But certainly this is not for me. So I think I'm good at translation. Okay, so about my personal quality, I'm actually quite enthusiastic. Enthusiastic for translation, obviously, because I found that passion is something that can always, encourage me and arouse my motivation to carry on, to do something, more, and to do something, something challenging. Yeah, it can, it's just like certain kind of galvanization, and of course, I'm quite discreet because which I think this is certainly a really crucial personal quality in translation because for me I always paid meticulous sense of details whenever I'm doing the translation because for me the creation of a translation of text is just like the creation of the diorama that for each single piece would be some of the important details that I need to pay attention to. So that's the reason why whenever I'm translating, a text, usually it takes about 2 to 3 hours to do it. And uh, and actually, I'm quite, sociable and optimistic. I think these two personal qualities are quite related because I'm certainly not really afraid of talking to people or to socialize with people. And to be honest, I'm quite, I like talking to people, and and as you can see, I'm quite determined because I think somehow to give it up, it's not something that I would do. I always try new way and to find new things and to find other approaches that can possibly solve the problem. So there's no way for me to give it up. Okay, so about my technical skills, I'm actually good at Chinese English translation and English Chinese translation because I've been trained by these two skills at school, and of course English speaking, because I'm majoring in English literature. This is certainly something that I'm really familiar with, and of course, I'm good at interpreting. I know some of the interpreting skills because I actually took the course at school, as I previously mentioned, and I'm also good at editing. And by editing means that for editing some of the translation of text, yeah, to correct the text, because I was actually trained at school about the skills. And about my business skills, and I'm good at communication and presentation. And the reason is that we've been doing bunch of presentation at school, so certainly I know some of the tips, yeah, of doing a presentation, and how to deal with some of the problems, because certainly while you're doing the presentation, I mean after doing the presentation, you will have to be bombarded with a bunch of questions. So of course I know how to, so that's the reason why I'm good at socializing, because I can deal with a problem with a really a really relaxing or easy way. But yeah. And about the reception, this is actually related to my part-time job, because which I will tell later. And of course I'm good at translating, because I actually took some of the courses at school. And about my languages, I'm actually good at Chinese, because it's my mother tongue, and I know a little bit French, but in a very basic level, because I'm still working on it. And I hope that my French would be as good as my English. And about my English, I actually passed the higher intermediate level in GPT, and the other one would be ELCA. It's called American English Level Certified Association. It's just an examination held by the California government, but actually took the exam in Taiwan, yeah, a few years ago. Okay, so about my working experiences, I actually served as a translating assistant and an English teacher at an English learning center, just from 2012 to 2013, and I actually stayed there for a year. And I think that work experience really left an indelible impression on me, because at the time that was my first time to do the translation, so I was certainly so distraught about my performance. I didn't know whether my translation of text would be accepted, would be embraced by the boss or even some of the readers, because as you can see, I have to translate some of the documents like class schedule, class materials, flyers, and something some kind of educational materials that you can think of. So, but I truly learned a lot from that working experience, because not only did I learn some of the tips of translating, but also I learned how to incorporate with other coworkers, and to learn how to make something as a collective effort. So I think that's something that I know about translation through this working experience. And the other thing is that I actually serve as an English teacher, and I have to do I had to do the homework correction, lecturing, and the material preparing. But that was also the moment that I realized I'm not a good teacher. I'm not good at teaching. Yeah, it's certainly, but that would be another kettle of fish. But my point is that I think that would be certainly a really crucial moment that I realized I actually I'm actually quite interested in translation, and good at translation. And and as you can see, at the same time, I actually serve as an interpreter for international scholars. It's actually a kind of an international conference called INQUAHI, and that conference was concerning the higher education and also the ranking of universities around the world. It actually served as an interpreter at that conference, because there were lots of international scholars, yeah, that I need to translate for them. And in 2014, that I actually served as the receptionist at Grand Hotel. But this, but actually, it's actually a kind of a short-term interpreting job, and that experience at the Grand Hotel was actually quite extraordinary because there were lots of foreigners and people that I can certainly talk to and to interact with. So I think that to be a receptionist at a Grand Hotel was quite unforgettable. And the third one would be I also served as an interpreter at International Education Exhibition. But as you can see, that my interpreting jobs are all short-term, part-time jobs, unlike my translating job. So this is actually my work experience, and of course, in the future, I will take more part-time jobs or some of the interpreting-related part-time jobs. Okay, so thank you for your attention. Maxi, bye.